You were born with a sense of well-being, a really strong sense of well-being, but not practiced control of a vibration. You came to practice that vibration and to explore enough contrast to launch new desires. But when you want something good to happen and it doesn't, you try to, after the fact, explain why. And a logical sequence of thoughts leads you to believe that there must be some outside force that is preventing you from the good that you know you want. Because your logic tells you, if I am good and if I want good, then shouldn't I be experiencing it? And if you aren't, then your logic says then there must be someone, something that is interfering. And then as you look for that, you prevent the good from coming. And the more you prevent the good from coming, the more you look for that. And the more you look from that, the more you prevent the good from coming, until you convince yourself with the facts of the absence of the good that you're looking for, that there must be some source of darkness. When you really, 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 really want something that you're really, 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 really not getting, then you have to explain it in a really, really, really big way. And once you start making the correlation that if you observe it, it's active in your vibration. If it's active in your vibration and you continue to observe it, it's going to become active enough. It means you in your sloppy focusing, it means you not using your guidance system in the way you intended, are practicing vibrations that are perpetuating and keeping things going that you don't want, you see. It's so lovely once you get this, because then everything that everyone's living makes sense, because their conversation equals what manifests. And you want to say, well, don't talk about that because it keeps equaling what's manifesting. And they don't believe it. They believe that there's outside things that are happening that they need to fear and guard themselves against and protect themselves from. And so there's this philosophy that if I can push hard enough against this thing I don't want, that I will be able to obliterate it, and in its absence there will be well-being. Except you can't push hard enough against it, because the more you push on it, the more you focus on it, the more you activate a vibration, the more it comes to you. So an understanding of how things work is where your freedom is, isn't it? Don't you want to try some thoughts that feel better? That's the only way that you're ever really going to know for sure. Because you can't take anybody else's word for it, because you don't know what they're thinking. You don't know what their vibrational point of attraction is, other than by the evidence of what they're living. You can deliberately choose a thought, and we know sometimes it's hard to let go of those practiced thoughts. Beliefs are powerful. Beliefs equal your point of attraction. When you believe it, you're offering a steady vibration. So wait, do I believe it because it is, or is it because I believe it? It is because you believe it. It is because you believe it. And a belief's just a thought you keep thinking. So if you've got stuff happening that you don't want, then stop thinking it. But Abraham, I believe it. Well, stop it. The only reason you believe it is because you keep offering the vibration of it, and the law of attraction just keeps saying, well, this is what you believe, so here, have some of this. And this is what you believe, so here, have some of this. Is it hard to believe that you could change your beliefs? Or have you shown yourself that you can soften a vibration, that you can offer a different vibration than you offered before about something? What trips most people up is that they want a circumstance to change so that their belief can change. And we want your belief to change so that the circumstance can change. And we know that the fastest, most effective way to change a belief is to deactivate it so that it stops producing evidence that you focus on. And in the absence of the evidence, you have a chance to focus on something else. And that's really what going general is. So your habits of thoughts, that's all a belief is a thought that you continue to think. It's a thought that you broadcast. Once you've asked for something, you've done the most important thing, because you have set it into motion and it is in the process of becoming. But there will be usually some time between your broadcasting of your desire, your transmitting of it vibrationally. There will be some time between the launching of that desire and you having a full manifestation of it, because in your physical environment. There is a time gap in those vibrations turning to thoughts and those thoughts turning to things. It usually takes a little while. It doesn't need to. It takes a little while. You have to stop noticing what isn't and start thinking about what is becoming. We have the advantage of being able to sense, you might even say see, the evolution of your desires long before they present themselves in a way that you can translate them physically. In other words, there's a whole lot that happens before you can actually see them. And that is so annoying to you because it makes you sometimes wonder if we're really seeing it, because if you can't see it, and yet you give your dogs more of the benefit of the doubt than you do us sometimes, because even though you can't hear what they hear, you believe that they're hearing it. Don't you? They're translating that vibration in ways that you don't. So we want you to accept that there is a vibrational becoming of everything that you have asked for, that you can't see it yet or hear it yet or smell it or taste it or touch it, but it exists just the same. And we want so much for you to know that we have created a way of explaining it to you by calling your creation before it is manifested this vibrational reality. We want you to call it a reality in the moment that you've launched it, in the moment that you feel it, in the moment that it is, because it is a vibrational reality that if you don't deny it, it will become. So we want you to goose up your ability to know it before you see it. We want you to feel it. We want you to know that enthusiasm is you on the trail of it. And if you can keep that up, it will come into something that is visual. Trust that there is a vibrational version of it that is the precursor to the manifested version of it, because that is the way that it is. There is such a powerful frequency of who you are and all that you have become that is emanating to the boundaries of this boundaryless universe, and law of attraction is responding to it and lining up all of the cooperative components in order to give you what you want, but even better, give you all of the wonderful experiences that you will have along the way to what you want, to what you want, to what you want, to what you want. And in those moments of contrast, those are good too, because you do not know clearly what you do want until you have a moment of knowing what you don't want.